What is wrong with things like that? Man, I've only got about 40 minutes. I don't know where to start with that one, you know? Be more specific.
Let's talk about deception and dishonesty and what instructors are trying to sell out there. And what is the actual danger in that?
Man, as usual, age-old problem, ego's ruining everything, isn't it? Everybody wants to be the guy, okay? Which is fine, I suppose, if that's where you want to go with your life, but no man's an island. You could say that everything's already been invented, but that's not true, it hasn't. But everybody's ego's getting in the way. People are willing to step over each other to bolster their own egos. People like having their egos massaged. People will massage somebody else's ego in return for getting their own egos massaged. That mutual appreciation society, which I want no part of. What else you got?
How do you separate yourself from that while still living in the real world? I mean, wouldn't you rather have 100, 200 more students who pay you?
Yeah, sure, you know, but if you're in it for the money, this is the wrong industry to start with. Period. You know? You get an 18-year-old on the corner selling crack who'll make more money than the most popular guy in this industry. So if you're in it for the money, wrong industry. It's like joining the military for the money. You must be crazy, you know? You've got to be in it for more than just the money. And at the end of the day, I've got to look at myself in the mirror and think, did I lie today? Did I bullshit somebody? Did I exaggerate something just to get a few more likes, just to make a few more bucks, a few more pounds? And that's important to me.
Can you give me an example of something that you used to teach that you no longer teach?
Yeah, martial arts. What else?
I get it though. I get it, 100%.
Martial arts, man. I used to teach, you know what? I have a bumper sticker slogan, and it's, I used to want to make the impossible possible. Now that is what everybody in the martial arts business wants to do. Is we watch the movies. We all wanted to be Bruce Lee, you know? We wanted to be David Carradine in Kwai Chang Caine, doing the impossible, man. And you think, you know what? If you dedicate your life to something and put all the work in that you can almost make the impossible possible. As long as the sun and the stars line up, the wind blows the right way, the situation's just right for you, etc., etc. I stopped doing that though. It was too much like it's hard work, especially when you have the alternative of, why don't I just make the possible probable? You know, something that might actually work to start with. Make that just so it might work more often. And then even that though, you're thinking, well, that's still a stretch, that's still a lot of hard work. So why not just make the probable perfect? And then you think, isn't that what all the athletes do? Isn't that what MMA guys will do? Isn't that what boxers do? Stuff that has been proven to work, they just want to get better at it. They don't add anything else to that. It's proven, it's working all right already. That's what I want to do now. I used to want to make the impossible possible. Then I started making the possible probable, and now I just want to make the probable perfect, or as near as I can get.
Talk to me about the process of attaining perfection.
Well, you're never going to do it. That's the thing, you know. And there's an old saying, isn't it, that perfection is the enemy of good. And I guess in a way, I'm painting my house at the moment, and that's gotten in my way a few times, you know. So now you have to think, right, I want to be perfect. I'm never going to be perfect, but I'll keep that in the back of my mind. I want to be perfect. Every athlete wants to be perfect, wants to be better. You know, he wants to get an extra meter on his throw. He wants to get an extra centimeter on his jump. He wants to get an extra kilo on his lift. You know, that's all he wants, and he will train his ass off to get that, which is why I find it offensive when guys come out with these shortcuts. You don't need to do all that. You know, guys in World War II got trained for 8 hours and they still remember it to this day. So it's like, well, okay, so why are you running seminars every other weekend then, teaching the same stuff? You know, it should be 8 hours, shouldn't it? And move on to other stuff. It's full of bullshit, man. Just train like an athlete. Think about what he wants. He's after performance. He doesn't let loyalty, he doesn't let style, he doesn't let lineage get in the way of performance. It's all about performance. Okay, the process is all well and good. Have a great time with the process. Martial arts is all about the process. But athletics, or being an athlete in some respects, being a special operator, something like that, it's all about results. That's all it is. That's all I'm about.
How are you able to quantify results without actually having the experience of your life being in danger?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That is the thing. You see, the thing is, in a sport, you've got an outlet. You have a competitive outlet against somebody else, trying to do what you're doing. The sports are arranged to give everybody a level playing field. So they make it even harder to achieve those results, because you can't use surprise and things like this. You have to have the same chance as the other guy. That's what makes a sport a sport. And that's the problem. If you're not in a combat sport and you're in a reality-based self-defense system, a combative system, what is the outlet? And that's it. That is a problem. So you have to think about, you could either go out there and get in loads of fights, which is kind of stupid, you know. You could either spend your whole life legitimately getting into fights, which is a whole life's work. You don't want to do that anymore. And it's not for everybody anyway. Or you could take lessons from that and look at shaping your own training and shaping your own testing in that direction, you know. Avoiding things like confirmation bias, avoiding things like, what do I want this to do, you know, and setting open parameters so you're not inadvertently favoring things. What else you got?
Are you concerned with changing other people's minds?
Yeah, you know what? I am, in a way, because you know what? I just talked about painting my house, but that's a good analogy. At the moment, I'm trying to paint a wall, but I want that wall to be clean. I don't want it to be tidy. I don't want it to be taken back to the bricks. And unfortunately, sometimes there's so many coats of paint on it already, it makes my job so hard to do, you know? If somebody doesn't want to do what I do, that's fine by me. But please, stop fucking it up for everybody else. You know? Please, stop fucking it up for everybody else.
Who's fucking it up?
People who are poisoning the waters. People who are willing to suspend disbelief outside of the movie theatre, where it's all well and good, into real life, and forget about the laws of physics, forget about logic, forget about reason, common sense, because somebody says or does something that they want to be true. And then with social proof behind it, it becomes true. And then that becomes insidious and it affects other people. So you're trying to teach people something which is ultimately a very ugly, horrible kind of scenario. And the truth is ugly in this business. You cannot dress it up. You cannot make a silk purse out of a pig's ear. You can try, but fighting is a pig's ear. You know? You've got two choices in a real fight. It's like standing upstairs in a very tall burning building. You know, one choice is you can either stay where you are and definitely burn to death. And the other choice, and the only other choice you've got, is you jump. And maybe you're going to get really badly hurt, maybe even die, but they're the only two choices. But people desperately want, the third option, where the fire somehow goes out without an awful lot of work or any danger, you know? Now those people will gravitate towards anybody who provides that third option or pretends to provide the third option or promises to provide this third option. And in doing so, they gather some momentum and they pull other people along with them, and that third option then after a while appears like it might actually be an option and not just a fairy story. Those are the guys that fuck it up for everybody else. Because then when you're trying to teach that ugly subject and get to the heart of it and get that acceptance of people that, yep, you know what, there may not be a best way to do this. What we might have to satisfy ourselves with is a less worst way to do this, you know? And people say, yes, but this guy, he says, and then it's just like, okay, back to square one. Okay, where is this fucking guy? You know?
But this guy has 1.5 million followers on Facebook. This guy has a ton of views.
Good for him.
So that means he must be credible, right? Because the crowd can't be wrong, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Have you ever heard of GKR Karate? Go Kanru Karate? He's got more followers than anybody else. These are the franchise guys who come around your house in the evenings, knock on your door and says, do you want to be a karate instructor? And they offer the family packages and all this sort of thing. And just because they've got all these people behind them, so fucking what? They're still crap, right? They are the adult karate party, which is fine if you want that sort of thing, but I don't. You know?
some people may listen or hear what you have to say and go, this guy is against art. He is a non-art guy.
Yeah, sure, I am.
But
What? If you like art, you like art. I don't, so it's up to you. For me, this stuff is like going to the hardware store and picking a new hammer. So here it is. People say, but I like all the arts. Well, I used to. I'm not so interested anymore. If I want art, I'll look at architecture. I'll go to an art gallery. I'll watch a movie. I'll listen to a song. You know, for me, fighting isn't about art, because I've been in too many of them to make that blurred distinction now. There's nothing romantic about it. So, no, to me, it's a job. You know, it's a task at hand. It's picking a new hammer in a hardware store.
but you'll enjoy the Kung Fu movie, or
Not anymore.
no.
Not anymore.
You're
No.
fucking done. Huh?
Yeah, I'm done, man. You know why? You know why that is? Because I'm not fucking 13 anymore. You know? 50 years old, for fuck's sake. What else you got for me?
Let's go have a coffee.
Let's go.